Good morning, everyone. I finally will have a little time to talk about the grader. If you saw in my first video, I didn't reply to comments purposely because I didn't want to give away whether I was buying it or not. Of course, I had already made up my mind to buy it, if you saw in the video, or if you saw the short yesterday. But yesterday, Tuesday morning, the man was here at 6:30 to unload it, and I had to be out of here by 7:30, so I didn't really have time to video anything. And it didn't go real good unloading it because it slid sideways off one of the ramps, but he got it off. He was very persistent. He was very helpful. Amazingly nice man. So I'm going to show you a little bit more about it now that I have a little time. There it is in the morning sun coming up over the trees. Looks real nice. You can see it had a scare fire on it at one time, but I don't have that. You know, the control for it, or to raise and lower it, is still there, and you can definitely see the scars on the grader frame. But I think it's in, oh, here you can see this had filled with water and froze at one time. It's bulged out there and the weld is cracked. But some graders, you see, this broke. I don't know about on these Model 11s, but there isn't really anything there for repairs. So in general, the front of it is in really nice condition. Here's the number, 7G347. That's the number on the grader. I already checked. The number on the engine doesn't match. No. I'm no expert grader man, but everything seems to be in quite good condition. This ball I can see isn't original, and something has been changed there. The blade is in good condition, I'd say. This is a control for raising and lowering a snowplow wing. And these have to do with the snowplow wing mounts. Those tubes there. So I'm figuring this was a municipal machine at one time for plowing snow. And that could lead to why, like, the cab and wood is in such good shape. It probably, you know, if it was bought new by a municipality, and say they kept it well into the 50s, which they probably would have those years. I mean, that's even a long time ago, but it was probably stored in it. I mean, it looks like it almost had to have been stored inside for quite a bit of its life. Inside here, even all the handles are still on. I've never run a knuckle buster. I got to get this running so I see what that's like. Now, you Caterpillar, real good devoted Caterpillar men, these gauges don't say cat on it, but they kind of look original. Maybe they weren't making gauges that said Caterpillar on them then yet. And I noticed the fuel oil pressure and the engine oil pressure gauges are identical. And down here it says lube oil on this side and fuel oil on that side. And it has an amp meter and a light switch, whoa, which still works, flips. And you see remnants of a headlight up there. I don't know if that would have been original. And then we come around here to the engine. The mag must have failed at one time. They wired in an outside coil, which I'll probably let that way, just because that's what I do. And if you look in, I don't know if I'm going to get it to focus because I can't get my, oh yeah, there it is. The engine number is 8G291. So that leads me to believe that the engine has been changed. And this engine also doesn't have a generator on it. And it has the factory plate closing a hole. So if this engine was swapped, The original engine probably would have had to have a generator on it to run the lights. See, it has the amp meter and light switch. Oh, and by the way, both engines are tight. They both have very good exhaust pipes and rain caps on them. I'm hoping they won't be in too bad a condition. The radiator core is pretty rough. That's had a lot of tubes cut out of it and soldered up. I don't know, I'm not that good at doing these walk-arounds. I'm gonna go around to the other side now. The rear bumper and fenders are still intact. I mean, the fenders are rough, but they're definitely repairable. Whether I ever get them repaired, that remains to be seen. First, I'll worry about getting it running. I mean, it has the, I guess they call it the mushroom cap on the air cleaner. As you saw in the first video, the inside the fuel tanks, gas for the pony and diesel for the engine are both beautifully clean. There's a big headlight on this side. I'm thinking that's a factory headlight. This step has been broken off. You can see first it was apparently bent, and then they cut it off and welded it on, so now it's got this goofy bends in it. All tells the story. Yeah, this side the ball for the grater blade going up and down looks like it would be correct. The U-joints, oh, here's been a repair made on one of the shafts driving the left jack screw. But all in all, I think it is in quite good condition. Oh, well, it's kind of interesting. It says, oh yeah, 1942 license plate bolted up on top of it. I don't know what that's bolted up there for. I don't think they ever would have required these to be licensed. Now I gotta look at the, oh, there's a horn over there. See it in there? It would have had grates on the radiator at one time, but they're all missing, you know, for closing off air to make the engine warm up. See, this step is straight, how it should be. Motovox horn. I wonder if that's original, or anyone can tell me anything about that horn. If it isn't original, I'd be happy to hear it. Judging from the wiring, judging from the taped up wiring inside, well, no, this wiring is for a switch. I think this was the wire going to the headlight up there. So I'm guessing that the way that's taped in there, that's probably not an original headlight up there. Oh, look at the clutch pedal. The bars on it had been worn down a fair amount, and look at how they welded up knobs on it. Man probably got tired of his foot slipping on it. And the brake pedal is worn pretty smooth. A little bit of upholstery left on the seat. That also tells me that this was stored inside for quite a bit of its life. Well, it looks like there's some kind of a storage compartment on that side. I'm going to get around on the other side and look at that. Well, I can climb up on this side. So what are your guesses? We'll see a varmint nest in here. Oh, there isn't one. We got a spark plug, a little varmint nest, but not much. A broken wrench of some sort. Rather clean in there though. Oh, that's where the original battery would have been. There's a battery cable in there. I may put the battery back in there if I make it battery ignition. That's a long ways down the road though. So, this is the first time still glass. No, that's plexiglass. That's why it's so clouded up. So, we're gonna let it at this for now. I hope you enjoy it. I'll definitely take you along for a ride as I work on this. Now, the steering wheel still has the whatever material they have on here. It wouldn't be plastic in that era, some sort of bakelite or whatever steering wheels are covered with. So, one more. Someone had made put a board up here for a little compartment, but there's nothing there. Electric windshield wiper. Oh, that's what this switch maybe was for too, was windshield wiper. But electric windshield wiper. In this era, vehicle, cars and trucks would generally all would have had vacuum. Oh, this was probably the horn button here. So that probably is factory horn on it. We got one switch over here that maybe was hooked up to, there's a wire going here. Whatever it may have been. The parking brake lever doesn't move. Clutch doesn't have any pressure behind it at all. So that would indicate that the clutch somehow, this would be an automotive style clutch. This somehow, oh, when I get all the way down it, you can feel something. Maybe the linkage just needs all freeing up. Oh, and I see the foot brake actually has a lock on it that when you push down and rock the pedal forward, it'll lock the brake and then it will release. So that's interesting. I'll have to check if this is a parking brake. I don't know if this would be that. Like I say, I don't know any of the controls on this. I know it is the steering wheel. Shift lever moves nicely. Into all the gears. And there's obviously an issue with the parking brake. I don't believe there's supposed to be a hole in that drum. I maybe should have looked at it closer before I bought it, but I think for what I paid for it and that he was delivering it, I think I would have still bought it. I'm sure I would have still bought it. And now I see even a bigger issue. I thought the wheels on this side look kind of funny. Don't they? They don't sit under that fender right. another thing. Now I'm not happy to see it, but I still don't think I would have changed my mind. But I'm gonna crawl underneath. I'm not just gonna show you the good things. That doesn't look good. You can see that side, how the wheel is up there real nice. I was wondering if it had brakes and wheels, and not just a brake on the shaft. But this side, maybe it's just a wheel bearing, but the hub is moved out and tilted. That'll be a big issue. Well, probably a big issue. I'm sure there's some parts machines out there like this. I have a couple people I'll call already. Well, I'm not going to dig into this first. First, I'm going to work at getting the engines freed up and running. But yeah, that'll be an issue. But it still wouldn't have been a deal breaker for me, because I told myself, for the price I'm getting it for and it's being delivered, it's worth it to me for the engine, for parts. The whole machine is worth it for that. But I'm thinking it's something that'll be repairable. So I'm still glad I got it. And I guess we'll edit at that for now. I'm going to be taking the cover off the injector pump to see if the plungers will free up, because I don't want to try turning the motor if the plungers are stuck and put stress on them. And I'll be pulling this plate off to see if there's somewhere to get a pry on the pony motor. And I'll probably I've never used it before, ATF and acetone mixture, but I bought some this time, and I'll be putting some down the spark plug holes, see if I can get the pony motor freed up without pulling the head off. So I'm gonna let you with that for now. I'm still thinking it was a good buy, and we'll see you on the next one.